Chapter 4. Who Let the Dogs Out? 1971. I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I am afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. Alexander the Great. Feed him, he must be hungry, Yayita said. He's not hungry, Grandma. I think he's sick, I responded. That's why he's barking like that. Chiquillo, the Nahuatl translation meaning little kid, was the name of our family dog. Chiquillo must have been at least 100 years old. In dog years, I mean. He didn't have any teeth. He dragged a hind leg. He smelled like a septic hole. And he had lost all of his fur. This last feature made him look like the Mexican hairless dog, Xoloitzcuintli, or for short, Cholo, the monstrous dog, the Nahuatl translation. Chiquillo was a long shot from his original beautiful yellowish fur, almost like a golden retriever, but still more like a mutt. I don't know, mijo. Maybe if you give him some leftovers, he'll perk up, said Yayita. Chiquillo was a kind and loyal dog, despite the poor and neglectful treatment he received. Dogs in Mexico, in my neighborhood in Apatzingan anyway, were kept outside the house. In this part of Mexico, unlike dog owners in the United States, dogs were not allowed in the house, or to get on the couch, or to get in the bed. We never took Chiquillo to the vet. We didn't take him to the salon for grooming. Dog walks? Nope. Pick up after he's shit? Nope. What about the other stray dogs running around the street? Well, they were not as kind as Chiquillo. Street dogs were like wild chupacabras. They plotted. They were purposeful. They were mean. They were treacherous. Maybe if Chiquillo wasn't that old, he would have protected me that hot summer afternoon when 3 of the neighborhood dogs chased me down on the street, overran and mauled me down. Go away, pinches perros, go away! I screamed, horrified and running as fast as my 6-year-old legs would allow me. No, stop, I cried, still on my feet, the dog's teeth clamping and slicing on every part of my small body. Leave him alone! The voice of an old woman was heard in the distance. My tired little legs eventually gave in. I'd finally fallen down, tumbled a couple of times, and as soon as the 3 dogs were upon me, like a turtle crawls into its shell to protect itself from the vicious attack of a predator. No, please, stop! I kept on screaming and crying. Stop it! The older lady's voice was approaching. I took a peek, and the old lady, my grandma, was swinging a stick. The canines were pawing, scratching, biting, barking, growling right on top of my defenseless body. I covered my head, my face, and my vitals, as if I knew that's what I was supposed to do. Crack, thump, crunch, the barking stopped. I could see the dogs running like devils out of purgatory. The cavalry had arrived. Grandma charged and attacked like a warrior running into battle defending a fallen brave. She looked like a Tarascan warrior going into battle by herself, fighting an army of dogs. Against all odds, she came upon the vicious beasts with the wrath of an angry archangel chasing demons out of heaven. She started swinging her stick, cracking it on their heads, their traps, their legs. She stood tall for just a second, making sure the dogs were gone, before she fell on her knees to take care of my beaten, bitten, and bloody body. Even though she had saved me, the 3 dogs had taken me down, like a pack of rabid hyenas closing in on a baby deer, biting and tearing up anything within their reach. This was the weirdest thing. Every time I was in danger or a stressful situation, my mind would go somewhere else, as an escape from reality, as an escape of what I had to face, as a way to bring healing to my pain. Freeze the story. How come you have blue eyes and blonde hair, Grandpa? My Grandpa Indo has very dark skin and looks like an Aztec, I asked Grandpa Pancho. Your Spanish ancestors came to America and enlisted with the Spanish Armada, said Grandpa. Yeah, but why do you look so white? I've seen Spanish people who are dark. Much darker than you, Grandpa, I persisted. Well, I look white because the Navarros came from the province and autonomous community of Navarra in northern Spain. People from there look whiter than people in the south. Spain had its share of defeats and invasions, said Grandpa kindly. In ancient times, Spain had been conquered by the Romans. Then around the 8th century, Spain was invaded and conquered by the Moors from northern Africa. Then almost 5 centuries later, the Christians came and reconquered Spain. That's when, under Christian rule, the Spanish became, in later centuries, one of the most powerful empires in Europe, including for a time the Americas, making Spain one of the first world powers. Yeah, you told me that before, Grandpa, but why are some Spanish dark? I asked, getting bored of Grandpa's stories about his family. Thing is, mijo, the Moors are black or lighter black, underlined Grandpa. And since they conquered Spain and remained there for about 500 years, it would make sense that they interbred and Spanish people look mixed. Don't you agree? Said Grandpa playfully. I started thinking that this was a messy story. Conquerors get conquered, conquered became conquerors. A messy story. Thinking of ancient times, I was at the hospital being stitched up. This was the second time in 6 years I'd been taken to the hospital for dog bites. This time I was 12 years old, 6 years after the first 3-dog attack. Back to my story. Does it hurt? Asked the caring nurse. Ouch, sort of. Can we skip the stitches? I winced. You almost done? Uncle Isidro asked the nurse. Yes, Comandante, I'm almost done. A few more minutes. I want the stitches to be uniform to avoid a visible scar, said the nurse shyly, when she noticed the big .357 caliber gun on Uncle Isidro's waist. Isidro Ruiz Tafoya, my mom's older brother, was a chief of police in Apatzingan. People either called him Jefe or Comandante. Whatever, just make sure that it's quick, said Uncle impatiently. I didn't remember how I ended up in the hospital. I was still shaking. I was afraid. It seemed like it was yesterday when I was mauled down by the 3 dogs when I was 6 years old. This time, I was almost 12, and just this morning, as I was walking on my neighborhood street of El Aguate by Augusto's house, the neighborhood Grinch. No, Augusto, please don't, I pleaded with him. Run, little bastard, run. It's your turn to pay for all the shit you've done to me, said Augusto smiling, right before he unleashed Chamuco, his Lucifer-looking dog. Augusto had been anticipating this moment. He had wanted to teach me and my pack of friends a lesson, because of the series of guerrilla attacks we had inflicted upon him. Augusto relished this moment. I panicked, right before the proverbial unleash the hounds order was given. Augusto savored watching me running frantically away from the dog, trying to escape, but to no avail. It was quick. It was over fast. I was down and unable to fight back. My ability to escape reality was amazing. This was one of those times. Freeze the story. So, Mr. Cadena, how come they don't let Mexicans into the U.S. without a passport? I asked my history teacher. It's simple, yet complicated. Cadena looked briefly at me, then glanced around the classroom. To understand the present, you must know the past. California was first inhabited by indigenous people, the first to live in this continent. Then came the Spanish in the 1500s, invaded and colonized California until around the 1700s. Then the Mexicans took it over from the Spaniards in the early 1800s, until the U.S. imperialism began in the late 1800s. They lied, cheated, and fought until they stole the Southwest from Mexico, like they had done it before to the Native Americans in the East, in the South, and in the North of the U.S. Who was to stop them? Their military power and world political muscle were bigger and stronger than that of a struggling country like Mexico, said Mr. Cadena conclusively. Back to my story. Can you recognize the dog? Uncle Isidro asked me. Yes, I said hesitantly. I didn't want to tell him that the dog's owner, Augusto, had commanded his dog to attack me. Good, take me to it, said Uncle Isidro. Let's go. Today I'm going to show you how to prevent dog bites, finished my uncle in a chilling tone. What the? Was my half sentence when Chamuco launched on my uncle. Bang, bang, bang. 3 shots from my uncle's .357 pistols were fired, landing on Chamuco's head and chest. It didn't make sense though. Dogs bite. They always bite. But Chamuco wasn't moving. He wasn't attacking. There he laid, the scary and vicious dog. Chamuco laid motionless, and Uncle Isidro was stepping on it, his smoking gun still drawn, looking like a proud Tarascan warrior after a battle, stepping on his opponent. Let's go, Uncle, let's go. Augusto's a bad man. He'll come out and I pleaded, scared and traumatized by the violent act. No, mijo. We wait. My uncle interrupted my sentence. We wait until Augusto comes out. I want to apologize for killing his dog, spoke Uncle Isidro even louder, in a taunting, daring, double dog daring tone, challenging Augusto or anyone to come out. Bang! One more shot was fired, this time to the top of Augusto's main door. Dear reader, you may be asking, did Augusto come out? What? Are you kidding me? Would you have come out?
Juan, Colorado me llaman, soy señores de Michoacán. Ya hasta los más salidones al mirarme muchos se van. Traigo mi cuerpo una silla que es de cuero, plata y marfil. Siento para que entre rendir, que viva mi tierra Michoacán y déme charanda para brindar, que Juan Colorado ya está aquí, montado en su cuaco en huracán. Que viva mi tierra Michoacán y déme charanda para brindar, que Juan Colorado ya se va, montado en su cuaco en huracán.